What up, what up, what up? This is your man DJ TJ. This is Friday Night Live. You are listening on WKTJ Reverence Radio. It is June 18th, 2021. And I just want to welcome each and every one of you here, both old and new, to Friday Night Live with your man DJ TJ. It's great to be with you. We're going to get going. I'm not going to hold you too long, but we do have a remembrance of someone here in my building, and I will go over that in a minute. There also has been a lot of shooting in my town, and we have a new chief coming. We have more officers coming. We have a lot going on with the Senate. We have a lot going on with Biden. Hopefully our news articles will talk about those things. If not, I will freestyle them. I hope you're having a wonderful day and the beginning of your Father's Day weekend. I made a fumble last weekend, thought it was Father's Day that Sunday, but it's this Sunday on the 20th of June. I also have a memorial service for a young man who was shot to death tomorrow morning, so this might be a quick one, but I'm going to get through the whole thing like we normally do at this time. So I welcome you once again to Friday Night Live. You've never been here before. Make sure if you enjoy this video, you hit that like button, followed by the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get any video that I do come out with, which is each and every Friday around 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. I try to be on a timely fashion, but it doesn't always work out like that. You know how things go. But regardless, I will make the show happen. I want to welcome all the new subscribers to YouTube out there. And if you did tweet me on Twitter, I will get back to you. If you have messaged me on Instagram, I will get back to you. And I thank you for following me on Instagram and on Facebook if you have done so. And don't forget, we have a webpage that has our merchandise on it. It is getting bigger and better because I am changing it as we go throughout the days and the weeks. And not to mention, on Sunday, if you follow wrestling, they are having Hell in the Cell. If you do follow that. Alright, we're getting deep into the summertime. It's getting nice and hot outside. We just had a nice little heat wave. I think it's going to cool down a little bit. If you are in the Lansing area and you're looking forward to coming to a revival this Saturday, it has been canceled due to the memorial service I mentioned earlier. We will catch up in about 2 weeks. We'll be back at the dealership. If not the dealership, then we will be right in front of our very own church on Jolly, 2045 West Jolly Road. If not there, then it will be again at the dealership of American Auto Care on Kalamazoo.
It sound right, boys.
I hope you're ready because I am. This is what is in your news. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my man D, whether known as Demetrius Riley, who lived here in my building. We have a building named the Carter, and I live in the Carter. And I knew this man for the past 8 years. He was one of the very first persons and people I have met here while I have been here. And he just passed away on Sunday. Um, from what I knew of him, he was a very, very well-rounded individual. Loved cars, very funny man, had children. The family is here in the parking lot right now, ready to do a balloon liftoff in his memory. There will be a funeral service in his honor next week on the 26th. If you know Demetrius Riley, make sure you stop by the funeral and the viewing at Greater Harvest, which is 1936 West Jolly Road. The view this time is 10 to 11. The funeral starts at 11 to 12. And if you knew him, I hope you are in the parking lot reminding him of his memory, but not drinking and smoking like most of them are doing right now. But I don't condone that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I see what people do and they do what they do. But either way it goes, shout out to the family, shout out to his friends, and shout out to D. Rest in peace, rest in heaven, rest in love, my brother. What I knew of him, I loved about him because he always made me laugh. He always made me smile. No matter what, he was just a wonderful individual. You know, we need more people like that. I can't say enough about him. He had a heart of gold. He would do anything for you. You know, I remember I needed a ride to the store. He gave me a ride to the store. You know, no matter what else he had going on, he made time for me to get there. You know. So when I didn't have a car, now God has blessed me with a car, I would take him to the store we had to go. But last time I saw him, he was working on his car, and he got it up and running. He said it was always running, but he just made sure that everything was nice and tight at all times with his car. He just loved working on cars, and he had, you know, the tools and everything. He used to work in a shop, and he was just a well-rounded individual. I can't say enough about him. So rest in love, my brother. I love you, D. You know what I'm saying? His name is Demetrius Riley. I didn't even know his real name, but I always just call him D out of respect. He called me everything but my name, but that's all good. I'll be Tim, I'll be T, I'll be anything he wanted me to be because he just always respected me and gave me a shout out, gave me love whenever he saw me. And I took that, you know what I'm saying? He's just one of them type of people. Other than that, this is what's in your news. As far as for forced stimulus check, we have nothing on the horizon, but Biden has not turned a blind eye to the forced stimulus check. And according to certain senators, there may or may not be a plan coming for a forced stimulus check in the future due to the fact that now the Democrats are ready to stop this bipartisanship talk with the Republicans, and they are now trying to do reconciliation for our infrastructure bill, which means that they may have the opportunity to throw a stimulus check in there amongst other things. But it has not been discussed yet because Biden has been overseas and he has been at the G7 summit talking to the Queen, talking to Vladimir Putin, and discussing those things of that nature. But when he gets home, which I believe he hasn't made it home by now, he will be discussing the infrastructure bill even more.
TJ Reverence Radio.
That's right, you are on WKTJ Reverence Radio, and I am your man, DJ TJ. And Biden has made a statement since he has gotten back from the G7 summit. And it has been about the vaccines, and it has been about the economy. We have bounced back really well in the economy, but as far as for the vaccines, there's a new variant out there that comes from India, and they are having big concerns about that. Other than that, this is what's in your national and your world news. Here's how California's new digital vaccine verification system works. There is a new vaccine verification information system that had been announced by the governor Gavin Newsom late last week, and it is now being rolled out in California. Mike Pence was booed, called a traitor at a conservative Christian conference. Donald Trump's former VP, Mike Pence, was booed at what should have been a friendly crowd at the faith conference. If you're familiar with Alex Harville, he was a daredevil motorbike rider, and he had died during a world record jump practice. Harville was 28 years old. He crashed during a warm-up at the Moses Lake Air Show in Washington State. Our condolences to the family. There have been 3 dead as rafting group goes over North Carolina dam. 3 people are now dead and 2 more are missing after they rode inflated tubes over a dam on the Dan River in North Carolina, according to the Raleigh News and Observer. New England Aquarium honors woman's 38-year-old ticket. A visitor to Boston's New England Aquarium was allowed to enter the facility for free using a ticket that was 38 years old. California residents are urged to conserve their power amid the heat wave. California residents were asked to voluntarily conserve power again on Friday as a heat wave baking the U.S. came through. Dozens of officers have quit and resigned from team that responds to the protest that a member has been indicted. About 50 officers assigned to the Portland Police Department's crowd control team resigned one day after one of its members was indicted. Study shows that Tai Chi may improve depression, anxiety, and sleep in stroke survivors. The storm has strengthened as gusts rain lash Gulf Coast. Florida Panhandle remains in tropical storm warning, while the system known as potential tropical cyclone 3 has yet to organize itself enough to earn the name. There has been an ancient giant rhino that has been found was one of the largest mammals ever to walk the earth. Let me see if I can say this name correctly. A Paraceratherium. Two Golden Globes voters resigned from toxic Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Insulation, silence, fear of retribution, self-dealing, corruption, and verbal abuse are just a few ways to describe what these voters went through. There has been news that the Kemba Walker to the Lakers trade ideas have already started. As it is normally the case when an all-star is involved, some have started proposing Kemba Walker deals with other teams. U.S. Catholic bishops advance communion document setting up potential rebuke of Biden. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops on Friday proceeded with a plan that could deny Biden. Tamagotchi's new smartwatch lets you strap a needy digital pet to your wrist. There has been a first charge on the January 6th defendant who became the first to face firearms charge under the riot law for bringing a firearm into the Capitol. Bryson DeChambeau video bombs Brooks Koepka during interview at U.S. Open in the latest. The friction between Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau has continued at the U.S. Open. Mexico is to play World Cup qualifiers in empty stadium after fans' anti-gay chants. FIFA announced Friday that the Mexico men's national soccer team will have to play 2 home World Cup games without their fans. Jennifer Hudson and Carole King released a song from Aretha Franklin's biopic. They released the song Here I Am, Singing My Way Home, the original song from the past singer Aretha Franklin biopic. There are charges to be dropped against trucker who drove into Minneapolis protest after George Floyd's murder if defendant Bogdan Vishirko says out of trouble he'll be off the hook on the charges of threats of violence that have occurred from him driving into a crowd. And that's not says out of violence, it stays out of violence. Or stays out of trouble, excuse me. Alright, Jenny Buss, Mandy Kaling team up for Lakers-inspired Netflix comedy. The Lakers are taking on the Lakers and Netflix, and HBO continue to duel. The Foo Fighters are going to release a disco album as the DGs. And the Milwaukee Bucks decide to force a Game 7 after their win over the Nets 104-89. The series is now tied 3-3. Alright, the UEFA Euro 2020 says that Sweden has beaten Slovakia 1-0. Apathy greets Iran presidential vote dominated by hardliner. Iranians are voting in a presidential election dominated by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I know I butchered that, but they're having an election, y'all. The UEFA has contingency plan for a London scheduled Euro 2020 final. The UEFA has contingency plan to replace Wembley as host stadium of the Euro 2020 final. Here is news about Cristiano Ronaldo Instagram record. Ronaldo has been the first to reach 300 million followers on Instagram. We'll take a pause for the cause. This is your man DJ TJ. You're listening to WKTJ Reverence Radio. It is June 18, 2021. This is your man, DJ TJ. This is Friday Night Live. You are listening on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on Twitter. And wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, as well as Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever it may be. I want to welcome you and I hope that you continue to listen to your man, DJ TJ, right here on Friday Night Live. We are going to continue with our news. Great to be with you. All right, Boeing's 737 MAX 10 takes its first test flight. He reportedly took off near Seattle on his first test flight. Andra Day, DJ Khaled are to perform at BET Awards, and HER are confirmed as performers for the BET Awards ceremony. And that will take place on Sunday, June 27th at 8 o'clock, live on BET. All right, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. misses weight, forfeits $100,000 from to Anderson. He failed to make weight. He misses weight by 2 pounds, and he forfeits $100,000 to Anderson Silva. All right. Ohtani's first home run derby entrance, bowler versus D-backs. Japanese two-way sensation Shohei Ohtani is the first confirmed competitor for the All-Star Game Derby. Inside Caroline Crouch murder. From burglary gone wrong to husband's confession. British mom Caroline Crouch was 20 years old, was found dead at her home in the Athens suburbs in May. A bear was shot dead in Japan after rampage through military base. Airport injures 4. A soldier at the barracks suffered cuts in his chest and stomach, but his injury was not life-threatening. France honors last survivor of French D-Day commando unit. President Emmanuel Macron gave one of France's highest honors on Friday to Leon Gaultier. All right. South Africa sends army medics to COVID-hit Providence. South Africa is deploying Army medical personnel to its commercial hub and most populous province to help battle COVID-19. According to the UN, millions are driven from homes in 2020 despite the COVID crisis. War, violence, persecution, human rights violations, and other factors caused nearly 3 million people to flee their home in 2020. India should be braced for third COVID-19 wave by October, says the health experts. A third wave of coronavirus infections is likely to hit India by October, and although it would be better than the last couple waves, they still have to deal with this wave that's coming. Palestinians call off $1 million doses of vaccine exchange with Israel. The Palestinian Authority is calling off an agreement whereby Israel should transfer 1 million doses of vaccines. Blinken to head back to European allies after Biden trip. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will head back to Europe next week, days after President Joe Biden's trip. Canada extended U.S. COVID-19 travel restrictions. Canada has extended its COVID-19 restrictions on non-essential international and U.S. travel until July 21st. Antonio Guterres re-elected as UN Secretary General for second 5-year term. And migrant boat capsizes Canary. A migrant boat capsizes near Spain's Canary Islands, where 4 have died. 4 people died, one of them a child, when a migrant boat believed to be carrying 45 passengers capsized. And last but not least, the EU, the European Union, says the court turns back European Union demand for surge in AstraZeneca vaccine doses. The Brussels court cited failures to meet the EU vaccine contract, but set a lower level of 80 million. Alright, that is all I have for you in the news this week, and I know there will be more. There might be more I could have said, but not this week. So I will end it by saying this. God bless you to all those families who have lost loved ones out there. This one is for you. I hope that your family is not going through it too hard. God bless you. God keep you. This is DJ TJ. You are listening on WKTJ Reverence Radio. It is June 18, 2021. If you don't have yourself a Bible, get yourself a Bible. If you don't have yourself a church home, get a church home. Make sure you do something for someone other than yourself. And I said that to say this. Make sure that you tell someone that you love them, because this day may just very well be your last. We have lost a lot of people in the last couple of weeks due to violence. Don't that be you. Make smart choices, make better choices. Make sure you know Jesus. Because someone did not wake up this morning. So you never know when your time will come. Tell somebody that you love them. And make sure that you really do. That's all for now. This is your man DJ TJ. This has been Friday Night Live right here on WKTJ. Make sure you stop by the webpage, churchready.com, churchreadyclothing.com, excuse me, and buy some merchandise for your father, your uncle, your brother, your cousin. Get something for Father's Day this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Every day is Father's Day. Don't forget that. Until then, till we meet again, God willing, next Friday on about 10 o'clock, anywhere around there. This is Friday Night Live. God bless you. God keep you. Have a good weekend, you all. Stay safe. Wear a mask if you have to. Get a vaccine if you can. Peace.